Namaste and welcome to another episode of RBI Talks from Paisa to Policy. I am Giridhar Narayani from Reserve Bank of India. Let me begin by asking our viewers a simple question. Have you ever opened a bank account and over a period of time completely forgotten about it? Or perhaps a family member of yours may have mentioned about a fixed deposit but no one knows where it is today? If this sounds familiar, then today's discussion is meant for you. Yes, we are talking about unclaimed deposits, the forgotten money. To help us understand this better, joining us in the podcast today is Shri Chirag Ved, a fellow officer from the Reserve Bank, who has been working in the Depositor Education and Awareness Fund of RBI. Welcome to this episode.
Thank you, Giridhar, and namaste to our viewers.
Chirag, let's start with basics. What exactly are unclaimed deposits?
As the name suggests, unclaimed deposits are bank deposits that have not been operated or claimed by the customer for a period of 10 years or more. These can include savings accounts, current account, fixed deposits, recurring deposits, among others.
People often hear about inoperative accounts, but how are these different from unclaimed deposits?
That's actually a very common question. An inoperative account is an account that has not been operated for a period of 2 years or more. When this period of inactivity continues for 10 years or more, the account is then classified as unclaimed.
So, as per our understanding, the key difference lies in the duration of inactivity 2 years versus 10 years. What happens once an account becomes unclaimed?
As per the guidelines of the Reserve Bank, once an account is classified as unclaimed, the banks are required to transfer the balance in such accounts to a fund maintained by the Reserve Bank known as the Depositor Education and Awareness Fund, or in short, DEA Fund.
Now, does that mean a customer loses the money if the account is transferred to DA Fund?
No, not at all. The money is never lost. If a customer discovers an unclaimed deposit, they simply need to walk into any branch of the concerned bank, submit the claim form, complete the KYC process, and claim their funds.
All right. Let me just take a moment to remind our viewers to please watch our previous episode of RBI Talks on demystifying KYC to understand the KYC process in detail. Okay, Chirag, moving on. What happens once the KYC process is completed?
Once the KYC process is completed, banks first pay the customer and then recover the money from DA fund of RBI. Let me tell you, there is a very common misconception that banks must first recover the money from RBI and then pay the customer, which is incorrect.
So, now coming to the practical part of our discussion, how can people check if they have any unclaimed deposits lying in a bank?
Well, there are multiple ways in which you can check about your unclaimed deposits. Firstly, if you know which bank holds your money or in which bank you had an account, as I said earlier, you can simply walk into any branch of the concerned bank, or you can also search for unclaimed deposits on the concerned bank's official website. The Reserve Bank has advised banks to display the list of unclaimed deposits on their website. In case a bank does not have a website, they must display this list at their branches. Well, there is another option wherein you may not be sure about the bank. In that case, you can take help of RBI's Unclaimed portal. Unclaimed stands for Unclaimed Deposits Gateway to Access Information. It's a one-stop portal that lets you search for unclaimed deposits across major banks. As of March 2026, there are 30 major banks on the portal, and these banks constitute around 90% of all unclaimed deposits in the banking system.
Oh, that's really useful. So, if a customer finds out his or her unclaimed deposits on the Udgam portal, can they directly claim it through the portal?
No, it cannot be claimed through the portal. Udgam portal only facilitates the search of unclaimed deposits. When you log into the portal using your mobile number, simply search for your name along with your address, or either PAN, voter ID, driving license, passport number, or even your date of birth. If there are any unclaimed deposits in your name, the portal will display which bank holds your money and the unclaimed deposit reference number, in short, UDRN linked to it. Then you can reach out to the concerned bank and share the UDRN with them, along with the necessary documents prescribed by the bank. They'll use this UDRN to locate your account and help you claim your funds.
Now, this is something many viewers might be curious about. Is there any interest paid on the unclaimed account when it is settled by the bank?
Yes, but it depends on the type of the deposit. For interest bearing deposits such as savings accounts, fixed deposits, or recurring deposits, interest is paid to the customer up to the date of settlement by the bank. Currently, the applicable rate of interest paid by DEA Fund of RBI to banks for interest bearing deposits is 3% per annum, which is in turn paid to the customer by the concerned bank. However, in case of non interest bearing deposits, such as current account, there is no interest payable.
Within how many years can customers claim their unclaimed deposits? Like, is there any deadline for it?
No, there is no deadline or time limit to claim your unclaimed deposits. A customer or a rightful claimant can claim their unclaimed deposits at any point in time, whether it's been 10 years, 20 years, or even 50 years. The right of the depositor does not lapse. However, it is advisable to claim it as soon as you become aware about it.
What happens if the depositor is no longer alive? Who can claim such unclaimed accounts and how do you do that?
In such cases, nominees or legal heirs can approach the concerned bank with necessary documents such as claim application, death certificate, and other documents establishing their relationship or legal entitlement. In case a nominee is registered, the claim process is simple and smooth. However, in absence of nomination, the banks may require for legal heir certificate or succession documents depending upon the unclaimed amount involved and the bank's board approved policy. It is important to note that legal heirs or nominees can proactively search on the Udgam portal for unclaimed deposits left behind by the deceased depositor.
You mentioned nomination earlier. Why is it really important?
Nomination ensures timely and hassle free settlement of claims, and it prevents hardship to the family members of the deceased depositor. The Reserve Bank has, on multiple occasions, run campaigns to build public awareness so that people ensure that their accounts have valid nominations.
Now, before we conclude, could you please tell us what simple steps can our viewers take to avoid their deposits becoming unclaimed?
Operate your accounts regularly. Make sure the contact details linked to your account are always up to date so that the banks can contact you in case your account turns inoperative and you can prevent it from becoming unclaimed. And most importantly, register a nominee today if you haven't done so already.
Thank you, Chirag, for these clear and practical insights.
थैंक यू फॉर हैविंग मी. अंत में मैं सभी दर्शकों से बस इतना कहना चाहूँगा, अनक्लेम्ड डिपॉजिट्स आपकी पूंजी है और आपकी पूंजी पर आपका पूरा अधिकार है. आज ही उद्गम पोर्टल पर अपने या अपने परिवार के अकाउंट्स की जांच कीजिए.
On that note, we conclude today's episode of RBI Talks from Paisa to Policy. RBI कहता है, जानकार
जानकार
बनिए,
बनिए,
सतर्क
सतर्क
रहिए.
रहिए.
धन्यवाद, नमस्ते.